I'm a big believer in self improvement, right? If you have a certain issue in your life, you should try to work towards fixing it, and you should try to work towards bettering yourself. In any way that you can. And what I would like to discuss would be shadow work, right? So a lot of us in life, we find ourselves where we're distracted. We're chasing this thing, we're distracting ourselves with television, adult content. Y'all know exactly what I mean by adult content type shit. You know what I'm saying? We're distracting ourselves with friends. Hell, we can even distract ourselves with thoughts. Where instead of putting that cognitive energy within, we'll start doing dumb shit. Like we'll start counting the spots on the fucking wall. We'll start we'll start thinking about the daily tasks that we got to do, and we don't often put that energy towards self. Like, how am I doing? Like, am I good? Am I bad? You know what I'm saying? Why do I think this way? Why do I believe what I believe? And there's plenty of reasons that we do that, to be honest, because I've been doing it for some time now. And as much as I appreciate uncovering my traumas and learning as a person, when you do shadow work, you kind of, you're shedding light on two sides of yourself. The side of yourself that's altruistic, good, kind, and quite timid as well, quite meek. Then you also are bringing awareness to the evil side of you. The side of you that's malicious, that's hateful, that is spiteful. You know, um, and both sides are necessary. We both need both sides of ourselves, but it is quite daunting to see the ugly side of yourself. Seeing these drastic, polarizing versions of yourself that live within your personality, who you actually are. I mean, we are a combination of those two extremes built in with, or baked in with, our living experience, our beliefs, morality, you know? So, despite me painting a picture that's so far been negative about shadow work, I do think shadow work is overall a good thing. Like I said before, like I kind of introed into shadow work, it's what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a mirror. That's essentially what shadow work is. Shadow work is a mirror. Through shadow work, you can look within and you can see what issues you're facing. Right? It's a spiritual and psychological mirror. And why is this important? Think about it. Let's say you have a T-shirt and it has a stain on it, just maybe a ketchup stain on the top left of your shirt. And you may not be aware of it. It could have dried there. You have no idea. But when you go in the mirror, just before you step out to go to that party or go to work, you name it, you're able to see, oh, that's an issue. I need to grab a sponge. I need to clean that. I need to wipe that off. Same thing applies to shadow work. Shadow work is that mirror. So you look within and you can see, oh, you know what? That's an unresolved issue. And I need to address this, Now, how is shadow work done? Oftentimes it's simplified to simply, you identify why you do what you do on the surface. Not so much. Now, of course, you need to ask yourself questions on, you can ask yourself questions on a variety of things, but it's typically on these 4 or 5 things. I forget the creator's name, but I'll be sure to put her card up here, and I'll put her name, all of her information when I'm editing this up, if I end up posting this. Right now, I'm just yapping. But she said that the main questions that you should ask yourself should revolve around your motivations or your goals. Your goals, your behaviors, your coping mechanisms, and your emotional states, right? So you can ask yourself questions revolving these things. And when you ask this question, obviously you're going to get an answer. Once you get the answer, that's not where it stops. It's not, the reason I like to drink alcohol is because it makes me feel good. And then you stop there like, okay, nice. Congratulations, bro. You said that you drink alcohol because it feels good. That's brilliant. Groundbreaking stuff. But no, what you have to do is, okay, sure, I identify the fact that I drink alcohol because it feels good. But why am I chasing this feel good? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because I'm avoiding something. And if you're avoiding a certain thing, maybe you're avoiding a trauma and you're using alcohol as a means to distract yourself. Or maybe you feel lonely, and then you can address that. If you maybe identify you're lonely, then why are you lonely? You kind of go down this rabbit hole, and you're peeling back the layers of your own mind to eventually uncover and be vulnerable with yourself. Like, oh, that's what's really going on here. That's the purpose of a good therapist, is they kind of guide you through that process. You know what I'm saying? It's very important to go through this, because we all go through things in life, man. There's things about me that scare me. There's things about myself that fill me with pride and fill me with joy. So I think it's an important process to maturing as a person, maturing as an individual, because I think it's emotionally and psychologically stunting to simply go through life completely distracting yourself from yourself, you know. And as long as you don't know yourself, as long as you don't spend time with yourself, you can never really fully mature. You're always going to be kind of like in a childlike boy or girl like state. You know, taking the time to look within is important because we'll notice maybe we have certain goals and we have certain higher expectations for ourselves, but we notice that there's almost like a glass ceiling, whether it's self doubt or no matter how much you try to lose weight, you don't lose weight. No matter how much you try to start a business and you have the knowledge on how to start a business, you just won't. Or you notice that every time you do start a business, it fails over and over and over and over and over again. And it's this continuous cycle. You notice that your relationships with women or men fail. Your friendships continue to fail. That's because there's an underlying issue that you have refused to address. You will do anything in this on this planet to avoid spending time with yourself. Even when you're in a room by yourself, TV off, everything, your dumbass is going to find something else. You're going to start clicking. You're going to start breakdancing. You're going to start hitting the mop. You're going to start doing all this other shit instead of actually just looking within and uncovering what issues that you have underneath. Now, these issues, I want to make this abundantly clear. These issues that you're afraid to face are still affecting you either way. I feel a lot of people have this notion that if I simply bury the issues that I have, they'll no longer affect me. That's not the case at all, bro. They're still going to affect you, but they're going to affect you in covert ways. You know, so they may not affect you directly, but they'll affect you indirectly, and they're going to follow you around like a poltergeist, ruining your fucking life. You know, so there is no avoiding the uncomfortable thoughts. There is no avoiding, you know, these elements of yourself that you need to address, these traumas, the both the light and the dark side of yourself. I don't like it either. You know, I don't like having to confront it as much as the next guy, but I know that if I don't, this ugly side of myself, or the dark side of myself, my shadow side, and my light side, are not going to be able to properly flourish. I will not be able to properly tap into those traits when I need to, you know, and I'll be ruled by them. See, when you do shadow work, you take control over your own psychology. You take control over your darkness. You take control over your light. That's what you're doing. But when you ignore your darkness and when you ignore your light, you're guided by those things. So instead of you guiding them, they're guiding you. And I'm not trying to be in that kind of state. That's a slave-like state. You know, this is a perfect example. I'll give you guys a real life example. A lot of people always bring up the fact that people that were abused almost always become the abuser, and that's exactly why. They have this trauma that they went through that I do empathize with, but since they never addressed it, they end up becoming an abuser to their children. They end up being an abuser in the relationship with their significant partner. You name it. You know, it spills over and it shows up in different ways. You may end up putting that aggression instead of in other people towards yourself. Maybe you're a substance abuser. Maybe you're an alcoholic. You know, maybe you overeat. You know, it will show up in some way in your life, so you don't have a choice. You have to peel back the layers of your own psychology and see what's really there. Now, I will say this. One, I am not liable for how shadow work is for you guys. I'm not liable if you guys end up, you know what I'm saying, doing shadow work and you're like, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't gonna say anything, but you know what I mean. I'm not liable for none of that. I ain't a therapist, but I have studied the subject, and there are people that are licensed therapists that not only do this exact practice and they kind of guide you through it, but they swear by it, you know. So essentially what I'm saying here is, in so many words, seek therapy. You know, uncover your own inner issues. I have my own inner issues that I'm currently working through right now. Sometimes I feel stuck in life, you know, but I do have a sense of peace knowing through this practice I'm uncovering what's in my way, and I'm able to move it, and I'm able to become better. I'm able to become a better, more in control version of myself. You know, because I'm not going to be stuck in a cycle. I'm not going to be stuck in a cycle where I keep doing the same compromising behaviors over and over and over again. You know, I keep compromising my YouTube channel. I keep compromising my relationships with my loved ones. I keep compromising this, that, and the third. You know, we do it to ourselves. So I think it's really important to get a therapist, or if you don't have a therapist quite yet, start to uncover the layers of your own psychology by yourself. And even me, I'm advocating for the practice of shadow work, but I myself, I do fully intend on getting a therapist soon, just so now they can help peel back the layers that I may not have been fully aware of. You know, there's no reason that we have this life. We only have one life, and there's no reason that we should live it stuck from trauma, stuck from limiting beliefs, stuck from rejection, stuck from you name it. You know, those are just my thoughts. I felt inspired to make this and to kind of share my thoughts on things because I just realized I was kind of in a rut. I didn't feel like creating content, but I feel as if I can start posting content over here, where I just share my raw, unfiltered thoughts, relatively unedited. Um, I feel as if I can connect with you guys on a more intimate level, and then I feel as though I'd be able to enjoy the creative process a whole lot more. Because I truly do have like an innate drive to share my thoughts on things that I've learned that could possibly help other people, and to connect with you guys that have similar issues to myself. Have that level of camaraderie with you guys. But yeah, if you guys made it this far in today's video, I want to say a big thank you. Y'all be sure to drop a like and subscribe and join the tribe. Also be sure to check out my YouTube channel, man, my gaming channel, TalkwithTailless Swagger. I post all kinds of stuff on there. I post primarily a lot of Mortal Kombat right now, but I'm sure you guys will like it. That's all I gotta say for now. Boys, peace. I'm out.